Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 of MUFC versus mousesports. This is the Beyond the Summit World Tour. MUFC took game number 1. It was a back-and-forth match at times, but in the end, MUFC just proved a bit too strong. Their push was too much. They got too tanky, going for a double heart on the Beastmaster and the Lone Druid, and they took that game. I am LD of dotacommentaries.com. Joining me today is godz, the man who is producing an enormous amount of static in the background.
There you go.
godz
Should be better.
fixed it. Okay, godz. So, MUFC take game 1. It wasn't the cleanest win, but they did take it. This time around, mousesports have that dire advantage. We saw Roshan played a pretty big role in that previous game. What do you expect to see from these two teams as we head into game number 2?
Well, MUFC will stick with what worked. I mean, they're the Lone Druid. It was a nice pick them last game. They like to go for Leshrac. We next see Leshrac being immediately banned out by Come With Me this game as the second ban. But I think they'll go for a similar style. The heavy mid-game aggression, these strong heroes can push down towers if given space to do so. They like to have a carry of sorts. Not necessarily, they don't go for the hard carries, the Antimates, the Morphling that often, but they'll go for the Lone Druid. They'll go for the Clinkses, the ODs. They'll pick up these heroes, even like heroes like Leshrac, who can be aggressive mid-game carries. Mousesports, I feel like that's where we're maybe going to see a bit of an adjustment. Do they maybe go for that Shadow Demon support, the Shadow Demon Kunker combo? Do they go for something else this time around as the last game's strategy? While the last game was close, but I feel like it was because of MUFC playing it a bit scrappy. MUFC did seem to outstrat them, and MUFC, something they are doing, which I really like, is this Shadow Demon ban. Time and time again, banning out, and that's a hero that without mousesports do seem to struggle. Yeah,
I really like the Shadow Demon ban, and one thing which might prove interesting, there was a post on Reddit, I want to say maybe a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, where Sing Sing was live streaming, and it's a clip from a stream where he said that after their match against Navi at the Star Ladder Grand Finals, Puppy showed him his notebook. And I'm not sure if you heard about this, guys, but apparently Puppy predicted every single pick and every single ban, almost flawlessly, that mousesports were going to do that entire finals. And well, the Shadow Demon is one of their signature heroes, so it's something the teams are learning. Ban Shadow Demon versus mousesports. It makes life a lot harder for them.
Yeah, I don't mean to burst. I heard that was Puppy actually trolling Sing Sing.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Because Puppy was writing down the bans and picks as they happened during the game, so he can look back on them at a later time. And he just showed Sing Sing and he said, "Oh, look at this! I predicted all your bans and picks," when he had just written down exactly what they had done while it was going. That's what I heard.
He trolled me too, then. So I guess
that
makes
a lot of people.
But I mean, either way, it is something about mousesports. They have a decent amount of versatility, but they're not. I mean, they're not at the point of a team like Tongfu where they can pretty much run any sort of strategy. The one thing I'll say about mousesports in the last game is I feel like they're more comfortable with a little bit more of an aggressive early game lineup. Whether it's getting some early towers with heroes like Enigma, we see Prof and Enchantress off the back, so a very aggressive opening for them. And I feel like this plays better into their playstyle. Also having a little more team fight. They had a lot of utility items that game, but not too many big team fight abilities. And I think that's something that mousesports, they just play better when they have them.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree there. And they're letting through this like, I mean, this is something I think you can work around, and mousesports picking up Prophet and Enchant. Picking up Prophet and Enchantress are looking to be aggressive, are looking to push down a lot of early towers and not give Lycan any space to farm. So MUFC now to basically they need to build their lineup around this Lycan pick. They need to pick up heroes that can give him space, that can apply pressure, and that can also support him well. And here's two great supporting heroes, Rubik as well as Venoman. So Rubik quite likely going to be in a solo lane, but he's more sort of for that strong sort of, once he hits the level 7, he can come get involved. There we go. Sand King picked up. If he steals something like a Burrow Strike, he can have a massive impact supporting the Lycan with that sort of level 4 nuke, the Fade Bolt, doing so much damage. He's a great mid-game ganker and backup hero for Lycan. I feel like it's two really nice picks for MUFC here.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you're focusing on not the Lycan, but the backup for him, because we saw yesterday, if Lycan doesn't get that strong supporting cast, he can have a tough time. Actually, that Lycan ended up doing it well. But, I mean, in general, Lycan not going to contribute much for the first 10 minutes, and then that's where he gets scary. The Vlads, maybe the Medallion up, go for some early towers, get the Roshan. But in those early laning stages, he's not going to contribute a lot, so you need heroes that can do well without him. Venomancer Rubik fit the bill. And I like the response by mousesports as well, picking a hero that they know how to play and that they've used very effectively in the past. It is the Sand King for them. Now, we see Black play this before. I'm not sure who's going to be playing it, but Mouse definitely have a couple of capable players who can handle this hero well.
Yeah, I think it's actually, as far as pure statistics go, I think it's one of Black's most successful heroes with, I think it was 6 wins and 1 loss. So a hero at mousesports, I mean, Black is not just the hard carry player, although he does love his anti-mage. Whenever I talk to him, he's like, mousesports need to pick me anti-mage every single game. It's his favorite hero, and he does use it very, very well. But against the Lycan, against the Rubik, I don't feel like this is a good opportunity, a good draft to go for that anti-mage. And they're looking to be aggressive. I mean, the Enchantress, the Prophet, spells that out. They'll be looking to get a lot of early towers. Either give Prophet the jungle, or probably actually, what am I talking about? A solo lane, the Enchantress in the jungle. Give Prophet the solo lane. Get him those sort of max treants as fast as possible, then TP the lanes to help provide additional push. Even if he leaves the lane open, it's still worth to get all those early towers.
You know, it's interesting. Actually, we see a Tinker banned this game, even though MUFC defeated it. Seems like they don't want to deal with it again. Maybe they realized that they kind of dodged a bullet in that last game. If they didn't have such a commanding lead, if they didn't get all those Aegises or Agi as well as the cheese, that game might very well could have turned out differently. So I like the ban here, especially because there's a Prophet in the game, and that split pushing combo, the global potential, is so strong. Well, I was about to say, Gods, that Enigma's in the pool, and maybe Mouse will go for it, giving them the offlane here if they want it, but in fact, it's going to be MUFC that pick it up, so great team fight for them. And now, the supporting cast for Lycan is very strong here.
Yeah, I like this Enigma pick. It does give him some additional lockdown. I mean, even if you can't get those big black holes off, just the Malefice on its own. We're going to see Mouse going for the lone Druid, probably see Black playing that hero. And that's going to give them a really strong lane, really strong push. I mean, it is a hero who wants to get that radiance, but even without it, they can apply pressure to towers, just use the Spirit Bear to either tank and pull away creep waves to tank up the tower, and just be a nice way to actually even dive heroes under towers, using that Spirit Bear to help tank things up. So more sort of push coming out. It's not really an aggressive pick. They're not looking to be super aggressive getting kills and ganking around the map, but it's just to get additional DPS to take down towers. Whereas MUFC doing something similar, go for lane control, going for more to the team fight oriented things. They're not going for pure damage onto towers and creep waves, but Windrunner and Enigma, great lane control here. I really like MUFC's 4 supporting heroes for this Lycan pick.
Yeah, and they have some late game too. It's not just all these heroes are strong in the early game, but they still scale pretty well. Enigma's Black Hole, always going to be useful. Rubik can steal a lot of useful spells. The Burrow Strike, the Epicenter, and one we haven't mentioned, which is Teleport. If you ever get your hands on that, especially a level 4 Teleport, oh boy, that makes life. I mean, you can use that over and over, set up ganks all over the map. Push as well. I mean, everything you can steal from Prophet is pretty good. I mean, Sprout not so much, but the Treants, the ultimate, all going to be helpful. So it's a good game for Rubik. The Windrunner can scale well too. And if you look at mousesports' lineup, I do like this Lone Druid pick. It gives them a strong laning hero, and they need that. It also gives them a late game option to try and deal with Lycan because of that Spirit Bear's Entangle. So I do like mousesports' draft as well. But it's a Lycan and a really strong supporting cast, and you just can't make too many mistakes versus that lineup, or you're going to lose.
Yeah, I think that the Lone Druid as sort of a semi-counter to the Lycan does work in a late game scenario. The biggest problem is going to be all the utility heroes that MUFC have. I mean, Windrunner, Enigma, Rubik, those 3 heroes just offer so much in a team fight, so much in these mid-game ganks, ganking, team fighting, sort of as a counter gank, as just backup for the Lycan. They can do so much, whereas Enchantress and Prophet, they're more sort of your one-trick ponies. They're great at pushing, they're great, and Prophet's great at moving around anywhere on the map and farming, but Enchantress is all about early game pressure. I like the Sand King pick. I think that's going to be a key hero for setting up kills and having any chance at winning a mid-game team fight. And once MUFC get up the Mech and Pipe, it's going to be really, really difficult for mousesports. So definitely it's going to be a lot relying on this Sand King, as well as whatever they pick up with this final pick. If it's going to be another support hero and have the Sand King playing as a farmer, I think that could work for them. But they need a very versatile support, and similarly, if they're going to be playing Sand King as support, picking up some sort of solo here, it's going to be there's a solo, there's a hero that can actually take out some of these, out DPS, the utility, and the mech, the pipe that are going to come from MUFC. Tiny for Sing Sing, I have to say. This must be a hero that Sing Sing will be playing.
Yeah, where is he going to lane is the question. They have a Prophet and an Enchantress, so someone's going to be in the jungle. Likely we're going to see Enchantress. Well, I'm not sure if she'll be offensive jungle or not. Let's introduce the players, then we can discuss the lanes. Nito, the stand-in, not Come With Me, is going to be playing the Enchantress. Come With Me going to be on the Prophet. It looks early Rena Basilius and 2 Clarities picked up for him. Sing Sing headed mid. Looks like he'll be soloing, and Black going to be farming on the safe lane for mousesports.
Yeah.
Huh.
And MUFC, they haven't revealed their lanes as of yet. They're all swinging towards that top lane. We've got Net playing the support Venomancer on his typical support. TFG on the win run. I hear that MUFC have had a great win rate with, I believe. We've got Ling playing the Rubik. Looks like he's building up for a solo mid. He's got 200 gold, probably going for that fast bottle. Enigma played by Sharky. And we've finally got NN Nick playing the Lycan. There is a quick disconnection, although nope, immediately reconnects to the game. So Lycan, his build, it looks like we are going to be seeing potentially Lycan heading into the jungle. He's got the Bassering, but it doesn't mean he's necessarily going to go into the jungle. In fact, if anything, Enigma's got more of a jungle build with the 4 clarities. So lots of options for MUFC.
I mean, Lycan can build a Basilius and go into the jungle, but I do actually think this is more of a laning build and that you want to pressure early. I think Nick's going to be in the lane, and it will be the Enigma in the jungle. And I mean, Enigma is the stronger jungler early on. If he gets harassed or ganked, the Eidolons are going to offer a lot more than the Wolves. And also you have Malethus to work with. The thing about it is, generally when you go jungle Lycan, you get an early Quelling Blade, because it really helps your farm a lot.
I think they're going to creep skip at top there. This is, I don't know how much you know about this. This is something that Orange have done. They're stealing an Orange. This is something Orange do whenever they get Lycan and Enigma. They creep skip at top. They get this tower down in about 2 minutes. And this is a play right from Orange Esports. They have Mushi play the Lycan. They'll have the Enigma, and they just creep skip. And they kill this really easily. They'll get a super fast tier 1 tower. Orange don't go for a 4-man creep skip. They just do it with 3. They would normally have this win runner sitting at bottom lane, but I guess they're too worried about this 3-man mousesports game, and they're going to dive this. This is dead. Black is going down at top lane. 4-man creep skip, and down will go Black. I mean, he's got the tangos. He can sort of run and stall this. I mean, MUFC need to make sure they're just applying damage to this tower. There we go. Enigma starts seeing the tower. They get the kill on Windrunner, and they're going to start creep skipping again. This is a very, very hard thing to stop. We can see mousesports doing something similar. They need to make sure they're trading towers, creep skipping themselves, and this is going to be, I mean, they want to trade as well as they can. I feel it is going to be MUFC getting the slightly better off. They're going to have Ling winning the mid lane. Top lane, they're going to push slightly faster, but this is still okay for mousesports.
Yeah, the one thing going mousesports' way is that they're getting more experience. They have an Enchantress who spent a little bit of time in the jungle. They have someone mid, and they have one here who's top, who's now going to be in the jungle. So they'll get an experience lead. They're going to give up an early tier 1. The question is, will MUFC just back off after this tier 1, split up and start farming? Will they go for a second tower? Maybe we'll see Lycan just farm this top lane with some Venomancer support. Enigma transition into the jungle. Looks like TFG has early boots. Going to buy a TP scroll. Probably going to head bottom, but he can't stop that tower from dropping. The glyph is used. He should TP to the tier 2. That's what he's going to do. And so after a couple of early trades, experience lead for the Radiant. Actually, the Radiant having the experience lead, I guess with the first blood helping out there. And then the gold lead as well. So it's looking good for MUFC right now. But again, this is not by any means an insurmountable lead. It's just a slight one.
Yeah, this is, I mean, when I've seen Orange do this, what they do is they make sure that Lycan gets the tower kill as well as pretty much all the farms. So Lycan has, I believe Mushi had a 3-minute Vlad's. It was like Vlad's up at 3 minutes. It was still only level 2 or 3, but with the 3-minute Vlad's, he suddenly farmed so ridiculously fast and he could not really be stopped. The winner actually got the tower kill, which may help out the winner a bit. It does give him some extra gold to try to stop this push at bottom, but mousesports aren't done. They're looking to be very aggressive. Enchantress and Prophet at bottom lane. And TFG will take a stun. He's got some boots. He shouldn't go down here, but still, this is a tier 2 tower that they can't really defend. And they're not really trading anywhere. They're only trading it for some Lycan farm at top. They're going to have to come back and defend at some point. Windrunner actually in trouble here. Needs to pop this Windrunner. He hasn't actually got Windrun. He goes down. Sexybamboe picking up a kill on Windrunner at bottom lane. Well,
it was a quad lane to start, and all the action was up top. They wanted to secure that early kill. So, yeah, they had no Windrun. Mousesports take advantage, capitalize, TP in again from Windrunner. No mana, Gale only hitting comewithme, who can teleport. Actually, no, sorry. Cooldown is up on that, so he cannot escape. He's in a lot of trouble. Malefice on him. Tower is killed by the Dire. Mousesports going to back out. A Prophet dead in exchange for tier 2. Great trade there for Mousesports. Plus, they got that kill on the Windrunner. The chase continues. TFG does have early boots, but killing Nino at this point is a tall order, and he is going to back off.
Yeah, and Lycan now, just in the jungle here, he's hit his level 3 at top lane. He's got his Bassering. He's got 1,400 gold. And the other lane we haven't really looked at is his mid lane. Tiny 10 CS compared to Rubik, who is sitting on 16 CS. So a slight advantage going Rubik's way. He is slightly out-leveling the Tiny as well as out-farming him. But now we're going to see the push. This is what I like. Mousesports, Enchantress and Prophet, they get 2 towers at bottom, and they don't just sort of sit back and farm. They swing mid. They now have all 4 heroes at mid, looking to get this tier 1 mid tower, probably try even get the tier 2 mid tower, creating space for Black to catch up in his farm.
Well, it's almost a Vlad's up, so it's not going to be that 3-minute Vlad's, but looking to have it about the 4 minutes for this Lycan. So it's a good trade in that sense. Lycan is going to have a very fast Vlad's. Will allow him to jungle indefinitely, spamming the wolves whenever he needs to, and also just farming a lot quicker. That a damage jar really helps out. So Nick is it's a trade-off. Nick is getting something. Also, TFG is getting something, and well, mousesports grouped up mid, but for the moment, the creep equilibrium is not really favoring them. Sing Sing with an invis bottled. Oh, easy kill for him. Avalanche toss combo. Picks off Venomancer and walks away like nothing happened. Great pick off for Sing Sing. And I mean, this is one of the downsides to that 4-man push. You're not going to have wards up because you all started in that top lane.
Yeah, and right now the Venomancer, he's only got level 2 of the Plague Ward, so it's going to be even harder to defend these towers until he gets to level 5, to get to level 3, and then even level 7 to get in the maxed out Plague Wards. It's hard to defend this push, and they need to get Venomancer some levels, but there isn't really anywhere for them to find those except coming to stop the pushes with some very low level Plague Wards. So they're just going to be sort of fighting an uphill battle, MUFC, until Lycan comes and gets involved. He has, by the looks of things, finished off his Vlads. He is sending that to him at top lane. And mid lane, they're looking for an opening, looking for an engagement, trying to find try and lead off with a shackle shot, and they can follow it up with the telekinesis as well as the Fade Bolt DPS. Rubik about to hit that level 6.
Oh, I actually thought Prophet was going to stay. He TP's out to bottom, and comewithme almost got caught there. And then mousesports almost in a bit of trouble, but they will escape for the moment. Sing Sing, level 3 Aval Toss. He has opted for this build, which gives you a little bit more reliable damage. The combo will not hit as hard. But the shackle onto Bamboo right as he uses Sandstorm. Gale as well. Telekinesis pulls him back in. Look at the Eidolon just ripping him to shreds. He will drop. And now the tower under siege. It seems like MUFC just have a slightly more reliable initiation at this point because it's such a low-level Burrow Strike. And it's really helping them out.
Yeah. And Lycan with his Vlad's fighting head-to-head with Black at the moment. But without those wolves, he is actually not doing too well in that 1v1 matchup. But his teammates are making up for it. They're applying pressure at mid. And they're going to get this tier 1 tower. And we'll have to see where comewithme tries to head from here. He's picked up the Gloves of Haste, so he will be going for that Midas build. MUFC get the tier 1 at mid. And now we'll see whether or not where they want to rotate. Nick forces a resummon from Black on his bear. And we'll see how he continues to farm. He's got 7 on go. I think just going for that medallion here really can help focus firing, getting kills, farming it up in the jungle. It just helps you farm, and it's a great item for whoever you want to focus down during a fight, during the game.
It's great against heroes. It's also great against the Spirit Bear. We saw it being very useful against Leshrac in the previous game, even on a Windrunner. And Lycan does a lot more damage than her. It also just helps you farm faster in the jungle, killing those big creeps more quickly. And of course, if you ever have an opportunity to go for Roshan, it will bring it down much more quickly. Well, Venomancer's gotten a few levels. They're level 2 Plague Wards, and he is spamming them. It's good anti-push. These will not completely shut this push down, but they will delay it. Mousesports really want to respond back, get the tier 1 mid. While this is happening, Windrunner getting a lot of levels and farm on the bottom lane, so they have to make this push work. And I just don't think they have the raw sort of brute force that they need to bring it down. I mean, the wards are just chopping everything to bits, the Eidolons as well, and Fade Bolt really helping out. For anyone who doesn't know how Fade Bolt works, it does damage. It also reduces damage of the units that it hits. Oh, top lane, Nick dropping low. Really doesn't want to have to use that ultimate. Might be forced out, and one entangle could cost him his life. He is going to end up using it. That means no ultimate for him for about a minute and a half. Burrow Strike on the TFG. Bamboo has Arcane Boots up, arrives to defend the bottom lane. So, we talked about the Sand King needing some early farm to contribute, and he's got a very fast pair of Arcane Boots. He is a bit underleveled, but if he can get that Epicenter, that level 4 Burrow Strike up, he's going to be looking pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of farm, not many levels, and that's what happens when you go for these big Enchantress Prophet pushes, is you get the gold from all the towers, but you're not quite getting the XP and levels. So once you find some space, get that XP, catch up on the levels that you do need, which is, I mean, that's the Tiny, that's going to be the Sand King as well. Those are probably the 2 most level-dependent heroes at the moment for this Dire team, as I will see them needing to have those high-level combos up to defend any sort of aggression, any team fights MUFC want to throw at them. MUFC themselves, I mean, as far as items go, they haven't really picked up all too much as of yet. I mean, they've got a couple Arcane Boots, but they haven't really started building too many of their utility items, although Windrunner is getting close to that mech.
Well, I'm taking advantage of these spectator features. I know some of you were clamoring for me to use them more in the previous game. Already 3.1k gold on Sharky. That means if he wants to go... Actually, interesting. Opted for the Soul Ring Tranquil Boots. I thought maybe the mech would be the immediate choice. I mean, if you're running a push strat or a semi-push strat, the early farm could really help out. Bamboo in a bad spot here. Trapped between 4 heroes. Is there any form of detection? For the moment, does not look like it. Power shot. One more power shot is going to do it. Bamboe has to make his move now. Burrow strike into the trees. Immediate TP out. Do they have vision? They do not. And what an escape by Bamboe. Great patience there. And he's able to get away. And he occupied a lot of heroes' time. But MUFC are going to make the best of this rotation bottom. 4 heroes grouped up, looking to pressure that tower. Venomancer trying to stall things mid. And a toss onto the tower. The tower is taking a lot of damage. The glyph is down. Actually gets used now. Sing one more toss will kill this, as well as a right click after this glyph wears off. Is he going to use it? There you go. Toss cleans up the tower. But the trade for MUFC, they get the bottom tier 1, and they're not done. They're not going to stop.
That's what MUFC want. I mean, sure, they couldn't hold their mid-tier 1 tower. It was already down to about 200, 300 HP, so they're just trading, and Venomancer's just there to stall. I mean, he's not going to be able to defend them if mousesports commit, but as long as he's stalling, and stalling for kills at bottom lane, they get the Sand King using that quad heroes at bottom lane, and they're going to probably get this tier 2 tower, although Sing is coming in. He's got the max toss, he's level 7. He can kill a hero very, very quickly if given the opportunity, if he can land the combo, and he will probably need some backup. It's coming from Come With Me. Sankin may be TPing as well. There he goes. He doesn't get the toss off, though. And great initiation. Burrow strike coming from Ling. He's stolen it from the Sand King, and he picks up the kill on Tiny. Really nice reaction there from Ling on the Rubik.
Really the trade's favoring MUFC in every department. They get the tier 2, they defend their own tier 2, and that tier 2 is on the bottom lane. Really a lot more important for Roshan control. Nick giving chase, has the power treads picked up, not opting for the medallion just yet. And well, MUFC, they have the tower advantage now. They have a lineup that, I mean, it's very strong in pushing, but if they want to farm, this lineup can scale. We talked about it in the pregame. It's not like MUFC are on a clock. There's no anti-mage or morphling where they have to look to end the game in the next 15, 20 minutes or so to have a really solid chance of winning. I mean, Lycan goes late game, Windrunner goes late game, Enigma pretty decent there as well, and Rubik, because he can steal a lot of useful spells, can contribute there too. And Black needs a pause, has an important call. So, I mean, it's a lead for MUFC. It's still, there's a lot of room for comeback, and I think it's going to rest on Sing Sing as well as sexybamboe's shoulders. Tiny and the Sand King, the 2 burst damage heroes, the big AoE wombo combo. These are the heroes that can get pickoffs early in fights, and that's going to determine whether they win or lose. We saw the last fight. He doesn't get the combo off, he runs it by himself. But if these two are able to link hands and synergize well together, that's where we can see mousesports making that comeback.
Yeah, mousesports really have to work together, and I feel, I mean, Sing Sing, he wants his level 9 to get the maxed out combo. Sand King wants the maxed out Burrow Strike as well. I mean, Blink Dag would be fantastic. If they can survive for another 5 minutes and around the sort of 15, 16 minute mark, have Blink Daggers on Tiny as well as Sand King, and have sort of the level 10 to level 12s, then they'll be looking good. They've got Prophet with a Midas, so they're going to be farming all right here. They'll be building towards a strong late game with a Prophet Midas, not to mention Black, who is currently sitting on 2k gold, so he's getting closer and closer to that relic. So they're going to scale all right to late game. They're going to be able to maybe, I mean, I'd say they can deal well with the Lycan. Lycan's actually going for the Necrobook build here. He's picked up a Staff of Wizardry, going for that all-out push. It's going to be all about holding that push, and that comes down to, like you said, the Sand King Tiny working together. Black, I mean, I feel that's the big problem. I feel Black, he can't really do much to help defend these pushes. I mean, where do you see him going, LD? Does he just go for the counter push, or does he actually have to come try and defend the tier 3 towers with his team? I mean, where do you think Black, what is best for Black at this point?
It's hard to say, and I mean, you mentioned the relic, and most likely that's what he's going for. It's what we almost always see, but we saw ehome a couple of days ago. Their Lone Druid, it was a very different game, but he opted for an early Necrobook, and I mean, if you want the Lone Druid to contribute earlier, if you feel he needs to, you could get something else. It doesn't have to be a Necrobook. Maybe it's a Vlad's. Maybe it's something else that helps out the team, an early Mechanism, an early Pipe. The MUFC have a lot of magical damage, so a Pipe would not be a bad choice either. I mean, and like you said, the Prophet as a Midas, he goes well into the late game. You've got Tiny as well, and we've all seen Sing Sing's Tiny has that late game potential. Although he hasn't really gone for the late game build. He's gone for Arcade Boots and Bottle. More of a ganker style. We're probably going to see a Blink Dagger, maybe a Force Staff next. It's not really the way the TC plays this Tiny, but it's adjustment they need. I mean, this is not a game where Sing Sing's going to get the kind of farm that TC usually does, just because of all the pressure MUFC are applying. So I think the Lone Druid has options, and maybe it would be better to go for those early game items. But if he wants Relic, he is farming well. It's not like he could have that Relic around the 15, 16 minute mark. But even then, is it enough? I mean, MUFC, if they want a Pipe, if they want a Mech, they're going to have it much earlier than they would as well. The Mech's almost up already on the Windrunner. You mentioned that a while ago. They don't have anyone building towards a Pipe yet, but I could see one being up by that 20, 22 minute mark.
I mean, we can see Enigma going for that Pipe over there. He's got 2.2k gold. You can buy the Blink now, but if they want to go for this all-out push, and it looks like they pretty much just want to go all in. They've got the Necrobook coming on Lycan. They can just go all in with this push strategy, and I don't know if mousesports can actually defend it. Tiny is not the best hero. He's got the insta combo, which you can maybe kill one hero, but it's just slowly they can just chip away at towers. They've had the Venomancer Plague Wards on the high ground. Even if they get blinks on Tiny as well as Sand King, it's still hard to defend because of the Venomancer wards giving vision, because of just the summons. The Plague Wards, the Eidolons, the Lycan Wolves, and the Necrobook minions. They can just chip away at towers. In MUFC don't even have to team fight. They can get towers without even engaging, and they can avoid that combo from the Tiny, the Sand King, the big AoE. To me, it's just going to be really hard. I agree that mousesports, they want to take this to late game, but getting to late game, that's going to be the hard thing. They can't just say, okay, let's take this late game, we can beat a Lycan. It's how do you get to late game with these heroes against MUFC's push strat that is going to be coming very, very soon.
Right, and that's where maybe the earlier, earlier contributions from the Little Druid might be a difference maker. Although he has opted to max synergy, and the Spirit Bear doesn't even have a point in the ult yet. So if there's a team fight, Black will definitely not be participating. Or if he does, he will be very far back. Spirit Bear dropping low. Looks like he'll be back out. They're going to have to make a decision soon. The push is coming. And here's the thing about it, Gods. They can't really find a trade right now. We saw earlier they go for trades, but the mid lane push past the river. The bottom lane, the tier 2's gone, and obviously he's not getting to base before this tier 2 top is pressured. So I think they have to defend just because of where the lanes are. And if they give this tier 2 up, all they've got is one outer tower. And this early against the Lycan, that probably means they're going to lose Roshan at some point.
And mech, no pipe. So I feel this is a fight they can actually take at the T2 tower. And that's why we saw Sand King. He was free farming upon him. He's coming back now. They see there's no mech up just yet on Windrunner. There's no blinks. There's no Necrobook. This is the fight they want to take. They're not going to get a better opportunity to have a team fight in the next 5-10 minutes. So they're looking to defend this top lane.
Oh, Sing. Actually, you mentioned the Plague Wards, and it's not just for going high ground. Great job here by Neck, constantly scouting out that side path to ensure there's no backstab incoming from mousesports. And well, the tower's under siege now. Middle lane is pushing, bottom lane is pushing, so the creep equilibrium working back towards the favor of MUFC, and that's going to force them back. A defended tower by mousesports. Still, MUFC gets some damage on it. They force everyone from Mouse to defend, so it's an even trade. Mouse is not going to get a tower in return. They're not going to get a bunch of farm during that time. Black back in the jungle, 2,500 gold. Well, it looks like if he wants to go for something else, he pretty much has it now, whether it's the Necrobook, whether it's the Vlads. It looks like he will be going for the Relic. That could, of course, change. But, if he gets 5 minutes of uninterrupted farm, he'll have the Radiance up, and Mech is nice, but without the pipe, it can still do a lot of damage in these fights.
Yeah, I think he has to go for the Radiance. The Radiance on the Spirit Bear can help stall the push and even stop the push at time. And MUFC don't get the T2 tower. They could have gotten the T2 tower, but it would have been at the trade of a lot of missed farm at both mid and bottom lane. So they decide to back off, go for it at a later time, and just be happy that they are going to get those next core items up. And that's the thing. They haven't got the pipes. They have got the mech now, I believe. Yeah, Windrunner's finished that off. Rubik's going to be going for a 4-star, so that's going to give him some survivability here, although Rubik, 700 HP. That's the thing. I feel some of these heroes just need to start tanking up. Rubik just picking up a vitality booster almost to just give him a huge amount of survival. He won't die to a tiny combo. That's the thing. You don't want to die to one sort of instant combo from a tiny or even from a Sand King, maybe a stun plus toss. You have to just survive that initial initiation, which a raw vitality booster gives you great survivability.
Bottom lane, Sing Sing Avalanche, nice sprout there, no Quelling Blade. Sing Sing really needs to run, surrounded by the trees. Actually, he's going to find an opening. In comes Enigma, looking for the Malefice. Sing Sing in a world of trouble, big crit. One more Malefice stun should do the trick. Dropping low, he's still alive. Is he really going to live with 21 HP? One more blink in, Sharky's going to get the kill. And now Bamboe trying to stall that push top. They get the kill on Sing Sing. They delay that blink dagger, and he was real close, Gods. But they're not going to get the tier 2 just yet. In fact, the fight going the other way. Come with me. Looking for that opening. Burrow Strike on 2. The Epicenter to follow. He gets it off in a great Epicenter, hitting 2 heroes. But Net actually able to get out of range. Toss as well. Sing Sing bought back for this. And it looks like, or maybe he didn't buy back. Maybe that's someone else. But Net goes down as well. No, it was Sing Sing. It was Sing Sing.
That was a smart play by mousesports. They saw an opening. They knew that the Enigma was bottom as well as the Lycan. They could win the fight, get those 3 heroes, and blink daggers. Sand King as well as Tiny.
Yeah, I was just about to say, they're going to have that double blink. So, MUFC, they need the pipe now. I think that's pretty clear. Yeah. They're going to have a lot of trouble engaging in the next fight without it. They do have a blink on Sharky. If he can blink, if he can somehow find that blink black hole, then it won't matter. But it's pretty hard to do that, especially when Sing Sing and the Sexybamboe have their own blinks, because they can stay far back if they need to. So I really I like mousesports' position considering that they're down in terms of power. Well, actually, no, they're not. They're even right now. But it does feel like the lanes are overall just a bit more in favor of MUFC. So I like mousesports' position a lot. Avalanche toss, blink as well. TFG uses the mech, or actually I think he just tanked that one, and he'll survive.
Yep, and I mean, as far as the actual stats go, this is in fact gold XP is fairly even between these two teams, but it's just MUFC who have this opening in the next 5 minutes where they could potentially get a rax, and that's the big scare for mousesports. They need to make sure that they don't give MUFC that opening. If they lose a team fight, if they give them an Aegis and a Roshan with an Aegis, then they can find themselves getting racks around the 15 to 20 minute mark because of the sheer amount of push coming from the Lycan, Enigma, Venomancer, and then the mech pipe, giving them the survivability they need. They haven't actually got a pipe. They may not even go for a pipe. They don't really have a great hero to buy. I mean, Venomancers often do, but it's not really like any of their heroes is farming all that well. And Enigma's opting for the BKB, so I don't think we're going to be seeing a pipe anytime soon, except maybe on a hero like Windrunner.
Uh-oh, Sing fishing for an opening again, but he is by himself a long way from home. He will back off. Well, the Necro book is ready on the Lycan throw up whenever he wants to buy it. It's only a Necro 1, but Lycan has a way of very quickly turning that into a Necro 3, so expect to see that by the 20-minute mark or so. You know, the thing is, comewithme's going for an Aghanims here, so mousesports just want to stall as long as possible. It's clear that's their strategy. Stall through ganks, stall through counter push, blink in, avalanche toss, burrow strike as well. The Blink brothers fly through, and they get a much-needed kill, this time on the Enigma. Every time they get a kill, it is going to delay the push. Unless the counter kill comes in, they pull back comewithme, Sprout, and he's going to TP out. No disables left, power shot, shackle. Great reaction by TFG. They do pick off comewithme 1 for 1. The cavalry have arrived. Nino rotating in. Slow to start. Annette wants to pick him off. Blink number 1. Avalanche toss. That's a kill. Sexybamboe. Blink number 2. Burrow strike in. Lane in trouble. Lane needs to use that telekinesis. Can't use it though. Steals a spell. Immediately dies. comewithme bought back for that. But they get a bunch of kills, and I mean, here's where Lycan comes in. Now he's going to split push. But Black is there to defend it. And speaking of Black, he's had the Relic. He's getting very close to the Radiance.
And without that Necro book up yet on Nick, they're not actually split pushing all that fast. And it's a thing where, as long as mousesports, I mean, they're buying back, they're trading kills, but that's okay because they're stalling, they're buying time to get levels, and most importantly, levels, because buying back means they're not really out farming their opponents. So despite the gold graph slightly edging towards mousesports, they've had about 2, 3, 4 buybacks throughout this game, at least one on Tiny, one on Prophet just recently. And that's going to really dent that goal, but it's the levels that they're getting. Whenever they buy back and get kills, they take it closer to that late game. And late game is where their draft is going to shine and where Lycan is going to become slightly less effective when he hasn't got, I mean, any sort of carries to support him. And heroes like Prophet, Lone Druid are going to start really having an impact on this game the longer this does go.
It's also the build with the Lycan, because he's going for the Necro. Yeah. That is a pushing build. I mean, Necro does an outrageous amount of damage in the mid game, but when the game gets late, especially if there's BKBs up, the Warriors really aren't going to offer you nearly as much. And you should be able to tank them, not having to take that mana burn. So, yeah, I mean, it's a push build, and they need to get towers. That's pretty much the end of the, you know, that's the story right here for MUFC. So far, they don't have them. There's still a window, but Sing with the haste, going to do his best to delay that push even further. Blink Dagger up. He spots out Net, I believe. Blink it from Sharky. Shackle as well. Not going to latch. Sing on the back foot. He should be able to get away. Not going to use the black hole just for that kill. And I have to say, MUFC, I don't think they've used a single black hole yet, and it's almost 20 minutes in.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those scenarios where they maybe should actually use the black hole. I mean, whether or not he'll use it in the next few minutes is, I mean, the way this game's going, it's not built around these big team fights where he's going to get a chance to use it. Top lane, comewithme in a bit of trouble. There's your Malefice. It's going to stun multiple times. Rubik's caught up now. There's a telekinesis thing they need to bring him back. They need some vision there. Midnight Pulse, telekinesis just in time. comewithme will go down. Just one little pick off, but still more time bought. Tier 2 tower will go. Oh, he doesn't get the Tier 2 tower. He converts the siege wagon as it was about to get the tower. So it will get denied at top by the looks of things. Smart play from
I was frantically trying to figure out which tower you're talking about, but yeah,
the top Tier 2 tower was about to get hit by a siege wagon, and
oh, and he converted it.
He converted it. He converted it at like the last second. It was a full HP siege wagon. I don't even know if Enigma meant to do it, but it just worked out so well for them.
That's where we need the slow motion, the dramatic music to cue up for that big deny there. Wow, mousesports are grouping up, maybe thinking about Roshan here. They don't have a medallion, I don't think they do anyway, but they still have a lone druid, which means it will drop fairly quickly. Sing also hits reasonably hard. This will take about a minute or so. I think it's going to take about a minute, and it looks like MUFC are not really prepared for this. Nobody in position. We'll see an initial scout from CFG that does just give vision. Bamboe actually dropping quite low. They want to get this as quickly as possible. The mech is used. Nito has picked that up. A big pickup from mousesports. And that's going to allow them to do this. But, here we come for MUFC. Maybe we're going to see that black hole. This may have been what he was waiting for. Power shot again. Piercing through, doing some damage. Bamboe burst strike onto the high ground. He's not spotted. Actually, I think he is spotted. Uh-oh, Shackle to a tree. Bamboe gets caught out. That's very unfortunate. Immediate buyback. Roshan still dropping. Black's going to get the Aegis. Picks it up immediately. And Nick held in place here. No, doesn't have a Quelly Blade. A lot of that ult being wasted. He's being kited very effectively. Burrow strike in, only hitting the creeps though. Lycan running the other way. Maybe just going to book it towards top. Another Sprout. TP out attempted. Burrow strike cooling down. Nick's going to get away. But they get the Aegis, and they don't really lose anyone, except for the Bamboe buyback.
Yeah, that was a nice little pickup. They get the Aegis, they buy themselves some more time. So at this point, MUFC have to start preparing for late game, really, in my eyes. They haven't succeeded with this sort of all-in push, going for the Necrobook, and that's going to hurt Lycan that he's gone for this build. It's still a useful item to have. I mean, you can just throw it on the Tiny, prevent him from blinking, even scout out the Sand King with the level 3 Necro Warriors, and they do get the bonus damage from the Lycan passive, so it's still a useful item, but he's not going for that hard carry build. He's not going to be able to out-carry the lone Druid, but with the utility, with the disables, there's still a potential for MUFC in the late game, but I just feel that mousesports are playing this slightly better at the moment and have managed to get themselves in a decent position here.
Yeah, very good position, and they sense it. They're grouped up. Bamboe still has that epicenter blink. We have seen an alarming lack of big ultimates from either of these teams, despite having a lot of initiation potential. Still, there have been a fair number of kills. Nick on the bottom lane, going to be trading push there with Nick, or with comewithme rather. And comewithme gets caught out by the wolves a little bit. Can always look to TP away, but the damage might be too much. No Necrobook not used, and he will escape. And Bamboe this entire time was lurking in the trees, but now he's going to back off at the end.
Yeah, and with this MUFC looking to sort of go on the aggressive here, they have managed to get great map control. I mean, the wards, the sentries, they're all over the place. The Dire do have a couple of observer wards, one of them actually spotting out most of the MUFC team, and there is a sentry ward in range, but it hasn't been dewarded as of yet. So despite the great map coverage for MUFC, there is some for mousesports and is spotting most of MUFC's movement. We'll have to see if they get some more dewarding happening. But for now, it is mousesports still buying themselves time. Mech up with the Enchantress, giving the survivability they need. Lone Druid, what's he going for next? He's got a cloak at the moment. That'll give him some additional survivability. We'll see if he goes for the full-on pipe or if he just sits on a cloak. But the item progression from mousesports is looking pretty good at this point. I mean, you see Sing Sing, Aghanim Scepter coming to him. Comewithme has his Ag Scepter, getting closer to that level 3 ultimate, but he's still got a bit of a way to go. But you just got to feel that. I mean, MUFC, their time may be, in fact, running out this game.
It really feels that way. I mean, their lineup could have gone late, especially if the Lycan went for a BKB and some damage items. But he went for the Necrobook, and you know they got a lot of early towers, but they never knocked down that tier 2 top. They never knocked down the tier 2 mid, and they could definitely still win this game. Oh, nice blink away by Sharky, although he's stuck, needs to TP out. Burrow strike into the Roshan pit, not going to find him by Bamboe, and everybody just narrowly miss each other here. So he escapes in the end. But because of the item builds in particular, as well as the fact that they didn't spend much time farming, I mean, well, Windrunner's got some items. Rubik is lagging a bit behind, though. Only a 4-staff on him, which 23 minutes in is not a whole lot. I mean, if he was solo mid and farming this whole time, guys, he'd have more than this. So I do feel like the window is starting to close for MUFC, but it's not slammed shut just yet.
I mean, and the thing with him, he's got 800 HP. That is very, very squishy. Something that I haven't even entirely even considered is that the Rubik actually has sort of a pipe aura already built in. I mean, it's great to still get the pipe to combo with that, but his aura will actually help to some extent dealing with that AoE combo from Sank and Tiny. And that's something that you have to consider as well as some negation for all that magic damage. And we'll see how much that mousesports have to throw at them, but I have a feeling with only 800 HP, Rubik is still going to be very, very squishy. They're going to need the BKB on Enigma to give them that big black hole.
Plus, I mean, there's the Impetus, there's the Lone Druid's right clicks with the Spirit Bear. There's a lot of other damage to work with. A smoke up from MUFC here, circling around. They're not going to find anybody unless they rotate all the way towards mid. Comewithme, as well as Black there. Not sure if they can really bring Black down with 3 heroes, to be totally honest. They do have a black hole. They still have not used it 24 minutes in. And he just hasn't had too many openings. I mean, there was the one solo kill opportunity, maybe could have used it there, but that's really about it.
Yep, and it looks like mousesports know what is going on. They're expecting MUFC and they're neutral, so they go into the enemy neutral. So they're going to look for an opening near bottom or possibly mid. They get scouted out by observers, but I don't think they're too worried about it. They're just happy to be sticking together, knowing that they can win those big team fights. And they're going to go start backing up Bamboo in the bottom lane. He's got 2k gold, level 13. This is starting to get, especially the XP-wise, very, very much so in Mouse's favor as they get another tower going their way. Lone Druid picks up the tier 2 at mid. And now, I mean, that's all the added towers, and that's down in Mousesports' favor. MUFC unable to get the towers themselves.
Yeah, they are, and Black will be going for Assault Cuirass. Really going to help Mousesports out here in dealing with the Lycan and the push that, if they want to go high ground, that Assault Cuirass will make a big difference. Sharky trying to pressure top, maybe force a TP back, but with Prophet on the field, you don't really have to stop the push. Just send him back. Actually, a TP scroll as well. Black's going to look to farm a bit more. I mean, Mouse are fine with this. They don't need to push. They could maybe even go high ground. I think there's a chance they could end the game now. But there's no real need to risk it. They can just continue farming, farm the enemy jungle, farm your own jungle as well, and generally just, you know, look to gain an advantage through items.
Yeah, we'll see what path they want to take here. But with, I mean, even Tiny looking like he's going to offer some carry potential. His Aghanim Scepter's up in 300 gold. Enchantress can do DPS, so can Prophet. I mean, all 5 of their heroes are decent late game heroes. Enchantress is not that farmed, is still fairly squishy, but Street Cred, Bracer, Mech, that's going to be a Drum of Endurance, or possibly just start building the Aghanim Scepter. Enchantress will have some survivability to deal with the Radiant team, and I feel MUFC's only late game thing, the only thing they have working for them in late game is going to be the BKB Black Holes. Doesn't look like there's too much to cancel it at the moment. I mean, the two things that can are kind of melee. You've got the Toss as well as the Entangle, but you're not going to hit one of those on an Enigma casting Black Hole. So it is going to be a Black Hole that can't be interrupted, and that's going to be the only thing which I see MUFC winning them team fights late game.
Yeah, they need that perfect Black Hole. I'm with you on that one. And where does Lycan go from here? Does he go for a BKB? Do you go for a damage item? I mean, I guess you need the BKB, but I feel like he's going to lose that right-click war anyway. You're up against the Syllabear, and I think Lone Druid can solo him. Then you throw the Tiny on top of it with the Aghanim Scepter especially, and he can cleave through the wolves instantly, and then work on the hero. My other concern for Nick is every fight he's been sprouted, at least twice. And, yeah. I mean, Quelling Blade at this point, probably not worth it, but he doesn't have a reliable way to get out of there if he's caught out by himself, so... I mean, it just feels like he's not going to stay on top of heroes for very long. Unless that Black Hole hits, and that's the real issue.
Yeah, he needs someone to help him with the lockdown, and even just not letting him come with me, just right-click away, drop down those sprouts. He's only got level 2 sprout. I mean, definitely worth leveling that up. It gives a much longer duration as well as a shorter cooldown, so we'll probably see him getting some more points in that soon. But for now, I mean, yeah, he's had problems just staying on heroes, and Enigma, the lockdown with the Malefice and Black Hole. Shackle Shot as well is going to be very important. I mean, late game Shackle Shots often decide games, so we'll see whether or not TFG can hit some. And he's got some decent farm, but he wants to get that Sheepstick as soon as possible and provide some additional disables. I mean, Tiny with an Ag Scepter, that's not something you want to mess around with. You'd love to get some disables on him as well as on Black when they try to focus down Black.
What do you go for if you're Sexybamboe here? He's sitting on 3.4k. I've seen it, you know, we see Aghanims a lot, occasionally Veil of Discord. He's got some options. I mean, I guess at this point he probably wants to save for buyback just because that Roshan will be respawning fairly soon. Only 3 minutes to go. But, I mean, any thoughts on what Sexybamboe might want to buy?
A Veil of Discord is always a possibility here. I mean, unless he really wants a BKB. But I think Veil of Discord seems to be sort of the stable option for Sand Kings. But, I mean, he's got enough gold for it. But he could pick up the Veil of Discord and still have enough gold for buyback if he's worried about having buyback. But... I mean, anything it goes. Veil of Discord, Aghanim Scepter, BKB, all strong items. I don't think his item choice here is going to be something pivotal for Mousesports. There's no sort of item you just think, oh yeah, that's what Sand King needs to get for his team. But it'll definitely help them out if you can get some more survivability or additional DPS coming from a Veil of Discord.
MUFC seem content to play this one passively. They haven't tried to go for a push, a smoke gank, anything like that in a while. Roshan will be respawning soon, but, you know, it seems like they're... You know, whether they're content or not, they're letting it get to late game. I mean, it's only 30 minutes in, but everyone's got a lot of farm because there's so many towers down. And the first Roshan was killed for Mouse, so it's not quite late game, but it feels like we might reach it a little bit earlier than we normally do. It's especially in terms of the item progression. Low Druid, Assault Cuirass just about completed. Needs like 50 more gold or so, and Radiance as well. Phase boots on him too. You look at the Prophet, Aghanim's up, not far off from a Scythe of Vice. Mousesports are getting huge items. And they're going to have that Scythe way before Windrunner could ever hope to. Not to mention Tiny, Sing Sing having his Aghanim's up. It has been a rather passive couple of minutes, but it's working out in Mouse's favor.
Oh yeah, and that's why it has been passive, because it's mousesports controlling the tempo. If they wanted this to be, if they wanted team fights right now, if they wanted pushes happening, it would be happening. But it's MUFC who just have to react to mousesports' tempo. That's different to the first 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes it was mousesports reacting, but now you can see that clearly the tides have turned, and now that mousesports have the levels, have their core items up, they're in a much better position. I mean, look at this. Bamboo now up to 4.5k gold. Sing Sing himself sitting on 2k gold when he's picked up the Aghanim Scepter. That's going to be... I mean, they've already got the Assault Crest coming on Black, so he can just go for that BKB maybe to prevent some of those disables. Lycan picks up a BKB of his own, so maybe now MUFC can look to make something happen. Sprout still does go through. It's kind of hard to click it. You have to try to click on the ground, but it's still a possible counter for that BKB, and I don't think this BKB will solve all of MUFC's problems.
Yeah, like we said before, even if he has the BKB and Tangle still goes through it, the right clicks of the Lone Druid and the Spirit Bear still hit very hard, and you throw the Tiny on top of that. He might be enough to bring him down anyway. Blink in, they catch out Nino. This is what they want. He uses the Wisp immediately. Still has the mechanism if he needs it. He's going to have to use it. He is starting to drop a bit here. TFG, or Ling steals something. Nature's Attendance for him immediately pops as well. They're taking a long time to kill Nino. Nick will finally get the kill with that ultimate form. It's going to be a cooldown now, but come with me. TP's top, summons the Treant. MUFC are going to look for the Roshan, but this is not going to be given away freely. Mousesports are in position, and the pressure is coming top. Actually, Come With Me decides to join the fight as well. TP's into the tower, using that TP scroll. Ultimate flies through. They don't have vision. Oh, now they do. Hits a bunch of heroes. Dies just in time. Nick picks that Aegis up. That's a big pickup for him. Still has the BKB. Entangle onto lane. Gets really low. Force staff up into the trees. Sexybamboe channels the epicenter. Preparing to blink in. Blinks it. No. Only Burrow Strike at the last second. Catches out Sharky. BKB was used. No black hole in this fight. Uh-oh. That's going to be trouble for MUFC. If they can get out of here with that one death, they'll be happy. Tiny with the big club, gonna pick up another kill. TFG as well. And even though Mouse give away an Aegis, and it seemed like the fight was going well for MUFC, without that BKB, Enigma dies, and like you said, they need that black hole to win a fight.
Yeah, I mean, he popped the BKB early at the start, and then by the time that Sand King ulti came in, there was no BKBs left, and, well, they destroyed the Gem Venomancer, but now mousesports on the push here, and with an Ag's Tiny, this is where you can't ever afford to lose a team fight. You lose a Rax really quickly unless you have those buyback. Rubik gets initiated on, doesn't go down immediately. Lycan's in the front line, just trying to stall this, and with the Aegis, he can afford to just go down to stall things if it means saving a Rax. He's buying time. Enigma is now back alive with BKB and ulti. Enigma's going to TP right in. BKB. Black Hole hits two. Sing Sing. Bamboo. The Bears as well. The Centaur Creep. Sing Sing going to go down. So does Bamboo. Really nice Black Hole. Even though it only caught two, it was the two heroes they needed to catch. They keep their axe alive. Come With Me is actually TP'd into the side, or just found himself in a bad position. He's going to go down by the looks of things. Additional TPs coming in. I don't see him escaping this one, as there will be power shots. Right clicks coming in. There we go. Rubik gets the last hit. 3 kills go Mousesports' way. Slight overextension. I think Mousesports just needed to be watching that timer on Enigma, because as soon as Enigma's back, he's coming in for a black hole, and that's something Mousesports didn't take into consideration.
You know, I actually don't even think they saw his TP, because he TP'd on the low ground. It's not normally where you see an Enigma TP.
Yeah.
Normally it'll be either walking up and blinking it, or TPing behind the racks. It was a nice decision there. BKB just available for Sharky. A good fight for MUFC, but, and this is a big but, what can they turn it into? Because, again, they use the black hole, they need that to win fights. They do still have an Aegis to work with, BKB cooling down to the Lycan. But without that black hole, they need to at least get a tier 2 here, and then I think they're forced back. I don't think they can actually go high ground at this point. Sandcade Epicenter is available. Black still has a Spirit Bear, and he's alive. Actually, does he have the Spirit Bear? Yeah, he does. He can resummon it, or it's at base. No, it's healing up. He's got the Salt Curse as well. Tiny is up again. Burrow Strike in, only hitting TFG. No Epicenter just yet, and Bamboo gets caught out, shackled to the tree. He goes down. Come With Me again in a bad position. Lycan ult working through him. Come With Me dropping low. The mech trying to keep him alive. Not going to be enough. Not going to be enough. He goes down. And now a big pickup on that Sand King. No buyback. No Bamboo ultimate. They really benefited from it in the last fight. Another kill for MUFC. 1 by 1. Oh my god, Mousesports getting picked off, and gods, you said this 20 minutes ago, but it feels oddly prescient now. If Mouse ever lose a team fight, MUFC can take Rex, and they are on the brink of doing so. There's no glyph.
Well, I saw this. I saw what just happened now happening 20 minutes ago. It didn't happen. I was like, oh wow, mousesports are playing really well, but they held out playing so well for so long, but then one slip up and they could have just thrown the game. I'm sure there's heaps of fans out there saying, oh no, mousesports are at it again, but this is just MUFC. They found the mistake and they pounced. They did not hesitate. They took advantage of it, kill by kill. They took out Sanking.
Oh
they
no!
Took out the Enchantress, and they're going to get the bear. Sing Sing comes in at just the right time. The Ag Scepter needs to start wailing away on some of these heroes.
Epicenter! Huge epicenter! Will it be enough though? Oh no! BKB
may have done it.
He may have done it. They're still down Rax. Aegis is up. If they can kill him twice, that would be big. It looks like they're going to. Yeah, he's dead. I do not see Lycan getting out of this one. He is respawning in melee form. Immediate Burrow Strike. Lycan will get picked off. They hang on to that tier 3 bottom. They hang on to the Rax. And how long is MUFC dead for? I mean, everyone except for Lycan will be up in time by the time Mouse can actually get to their side of the map. They can go for... No, Roshan is down.
It's a Rax?
It's a Rax, but that's it.
It's a Rax, but I'd say... No, not for mousesports. I don't know if mousesports can get a Rax for sure. It's a tower, but... I mean, for me, even with mousesports being down a Rax, they're still in this game. They've got a strong enough late game. They just have to play sharper, and they can still maybe get this bottom Rax. I don't know. Is there anyone who can come back and defend it?
There's no Glyph, but he's attacking from the low ground. Comewithme really should be moving up, but now with the respawn from Venomancer, everyone else about to as well. TPN from the Venomancer. The Cavalry's arrived. Uh-oh, Venomancer TP's it a bit too far, a bridge too far, if you will, and Bamboe gonna catch him out. Another TPN, I'm not sure this should be coming from Sharky. Immediately scythed up, Burrow Strike available, 1 second to follow. No, the BKB is used. Black Hole misses! Bamboe does it, he Burrow Strikes out, baits out the Black Hole, and blinks away. Sing Sing all chatting, wow, and Bamboe with the big escape there. 2 fights won. 1 fight won on the back of Bamboe, and now the middle Rax being worked down. Black, nice position, keeping the hero back. Shackle shot, only hitting the creeps. They get a Rax. Highlights indeed. The Spirit Bear is the... MUFC is angry. They want the Spirit Bear, and they're going to get it. But it's now, we're even, and even for me, even in this game, is mousesports being ahead for me, especially with that Black Hole down.
Yeah, I have to say, mousesports trading Raxes there. They've got the great split push. They've got profit. I mean, if you can just TP around the lanes, keep everything pushed out. And unless MUFC find themselves some more pickoffs, I don't know where they're going to find the opportunity to get another chance to take a Rax. They're going to need that big BKB Black Hole right there. Sharky, slightly misplaced one, but it's going to be back up in a couple minutes' time. And as long as they don't lose a Rax in the next 2 minutes, they can maybe hold off the next onslaught and this split push, which is coming from all over from mousesports. The big thing for mousesports is make sure they have those buybacks. If they lose a fight, even if they lose a fight when they're trying to go 5-man push, if they have buybacks, they can still defend. They can still not lose a Rax at a cost of a mistake. They need to make it so that if they have a mistake, like they did before, they don't lose a Rax on the back of it.
Well, right now it looks like they have 1, maybe 2 buybacks. Sing Sing, yep, he's got a buyback, as well as Comewithme. So, 2 buybacks now. And the Prophet is the absolutely most important hero in that regard, because his ultimate is just going to shut down pushes really quickly. So as long as Prophet is buyback, even that might be enough, but ideally you'd like to have 2 or 3. Sing Sing in the front lines here. Aghanim's picked up no real item progression since then, just a drum. I think this was a late game drum, actually. I think he bought it relatively recently. It's still a very cost-effective item. 2 TPs in. This could be bad TPing into the middle of the opposing squad, and they are going to be forced back. It's the range of these Blink Daggers. That initiation range is just absolutely huge. So they have to force to cancel the TPs. They're going to walk back instead. Bear starting to wail away on the Rex. Malphus slowing that one down. And mousesports just putting MUFC on the back foot under siege. Black Hole not available for a full minute here, and that's why mousesports are being so aggressive. Oh, God. Can they stall for a minute? Your thoughts?
I mean, they may lose another... They might lose another Rex. I think they can. It may become very costly though. They may have to have some heroes thrown in who end up buying back, but they can stall this out. Prophet's actually gone top, trying to go for the full split push, and we'll see whether or not they can. It looks like MUFC and mousesports are actually backing off a little bit, maybe waiting for that Roshan respawn. It is in about 3 minutes' time, but by then, I mean, there's going to be at least 1 black hole opportunity, and that's going to be the thing for MUFC. They're going to contest that Roshan. They do not want to give mousesports a cheese and Aegis. That would pretty much seal the deal, or at least make sure another Rax goes down. If the lone druid, tiny, Sanking, they get cheeses, Aegises, buybacks, then they're going to lose another Rax for sure, maybe even the game.
Yeah, this mousesports lineup is getting pretty intimidating. Black has a Demon Edge picked up. I think he either bought back or he just hasn't had much of a chance to farm. Either way, his farm has slowed down a bit. But it's going to pick up, especially if they get that Aegis. And if he gets an MKB or Daedalus on this bear, that's just going to be massive damage for him. And it also really helps against the Lycan, too. Just having that extra bit of damage to work him down. If you ever hit an entangle and you can burst him down during that entangle, that's really going to help. So come with me as well, a Demon Edge for him. So Demon Edge is galore for mousesports. And you know, we've talked about Sing Sing. He doesn't really need a whole lot of items. This is the power of Tiny, especially with the Assault Cuirass on the Lone Druid. Tiny doesn't need a ton of big items to do a lot of damage. He'd like to have them, but he doesn't need them.
No, that's very true. And especially if they win those fights, I mean, just getting the auras from his team, he may want to pick up. I mean, the thing is with the Assault Crest, he's not getting the full attack speed aura himself. He's only getting, well, he's getting the full attack speed aura, but not the actual attack speed you get from the item itself. He may want to go for a Hyperstone of his own to give him that massive attack speed in these team fights, unless he wants the survivability. Could be a BKB he goes for, but right now, I mean, buybacks is going to be the key thing. We're at 40 minutes in the game. One team fight could steal the deal, and here comes the smoke. Here comes the potential gank. They're looking for Bamboo. He's going to stun his way out, and he may be okay. Ultimate getting popped by Lycan, but Bamboo is already gone, and Ultimate being wasted, not to mention the smoke not succeeding on anything. And mousesports can just go top lane, go for that split push, and just prevent MUFC from getting too much here.
Well, Lycan actually has really turned it up. Nick has a Reaver now, as well as that BKB. The Vlad's the Necro Book. I mean, Lycan may not be able to single-handedly out-carry all these heroes, but a big Black Hole or even a Shackle, that might be enough. Especially if Rubik steals something. He's got Burrow Strike now. A big item to, or a big ability to have. Also a Bloodstone, so he's still relatively squishy in terms of armor, and Mouse is a lot of physical damage. I feel like MUFC still can do this. I mean, and I know it seems like Mouse are ahead now. They're probably going to get the Aegis and the Cheese. That's going to make life really difficult. But if MUFC can stop that, maybe even if Mouse get it, they might still have a chance. But it is going to be a slim chance if that Aegis and Cheese come online.
Yeah, I mean, in mousesports, they're picking up a lot of late game items, and they've got their core items, they've got their sort of, even their late game items, and now they're starting to get luxury items. I mean, you see, Come With Me, he's got 4k, he's got enough gold for that Monkey King bar. I mean, you've got Tiny Sing on 3k gold, you've got Black, where is he? 1500 gold, he's got the Assault Crest, he's got a Demon Edge as well on top of that bear. There's another, I guess, MKB on the Spirit Bear. I mean, he's relying a lot on the Spirit Bear, which does get very squishy late game, so I'm not sure if it's the best option for a Spirit Bear when it's so squishy and being taken down. But still, mousesports in a good position here, and they're looking to sort of have a bit of a standoff here. And that's a standoff that MUFC are going to struggle with. They have the creep waves pushing out towards them. Prophet can TP in, pressure at top, and MUFC, this is a hard position for them. They need to maybe smoke and just go all out, try and engage in on mousesports.
Oh, they're going to go for a very long wraparound gank, kind of reminiscent of Complexity here. This could be huge if it pays off. Mousesports have to realize something's up because everybody just went missing off the map. Top lane pushing in, but not really fast. Oh God, I'm so nervous here with anticipation. Blink in to start, Malefice as well. He gets sheeped up. Is there lockdown? Sing Sing looking for the opening. Blink in, Avalanche toss. He does not get the Enigma though. Where's the Black Hole? Black Hole, Black Hole. Oh, he's fishing for it. He's not fighting it just yet. They got the Aegis and the Cheese, both of them on the low Druid. Burrow Strike, Epicenter as well. Finally, oh no, Enigma goes down, immediate buyback. Lycan dropping low, he gets picked off, it's way too much damage from Mouse. They don't even need the Aegis and Cheese. 3 heroes dead. Looks like they're going to be able to take this one.
Yeah, it really does, and we're going to see whether or not they go all out for the push now. We've got, I mean, the couple buybacks on these heroes on the dire side anyways. Actually, I believe, Come With Me, yeah, he did use his buyback after dying. He's now back in the fray, and we'll see them going straight down the mid lane, trying to finish off this other range barracks, get the bottom barracks, and even the top ones can likely go down here. Lycan dead, Rubik dead for 20 seconds, Venno is down, and only the Windrunner and Enigma left standing to defend. Enigma, if he goes down, he has no buyback, he already used it, so Windrunner going to probably have to sacrifice himself just to try to keep the barracks alive, but even then, 4 barracks will be down into mousesports.
It's all but over at this point. I mean, they have an absolute bulldozer of a lineup at this stage of the game. Tiny hits hard on buildings, the Spirit Bear does that outrageous bonus damage to buildings with Demolish. In fact, it's 40%. And it's got an MKB if he ever buys it. Yeah, they're going to get Mega Creeps, and, well, we're going to go to a Game 3 God. So, Blake in, Malefice, again, there's no Black Hole. That was used in the last fight. Look at the right clicks from Sing Sing here, cleaving through everybody. Just about 3 shots to kill them off, and the low Druid on top of it. Good game, well played indeed. This was an interesting one to watch. They went for the orange strat, as you termed it. Didn't work out, but it certainly made things entertaining.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, right off the bat, there were some unusual things going on with the 4-man push at top, the 3-man creep sibling at bottom, and I mean, mousesports had the slightly better trade. MUFC, though, had the stronger sort of early game push, but they just didn't get the racks. They needed that 20-minute racks, I feel. They didn't get one until 35 minutes in, and by then, mousesports had the ability to take the late game and win it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was game number 2 of MUC versus Mouse. This is only our first best out of 3 for today. Mouse will be facing off again in the next match, but we're headed to game 3 for this series. I am LD of dotacommentaries.com. Joining me was godz. We'll be coming back very soon with game 3. Don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss this. You're watching Beyond the Summits World.